Hi there, Douglas V. Gibbs, Constitution Study TV, and I would like to talk about the Real ID. And I really haven't had a chance to spend a lot of time on it in the past, and I've had a lot of requests regarding the Real ID, what it is, and whether or not it's constitutional. What the Real ID is, and understand this goes all the way back to the Bush administration, is the idea is to protect us, sacrificing liberty for security, that crazy little idea. And so what it happens is in this ID there's a chip or there's a special thing in it that cannot be duplicated, it cannot be counterfeited. So it does away with the fake IDs that terrorists create, and it also, what it does is it makes sure that illegal aliens can't have the Real ID. In order to get the Real ID, you have to show your birth certificate. You have to be proven to be an American citizen, born here, or your naturalization document, whatever. And so, while on the surface it seems like the intent is good, think about what has happened. The federal government has mandated a policy regarding our identification, our driver's licenses or IDs. First of all, there is no constitutional authority for that. Is it a good idea? I don't know. Probably not, and I'll get over that in a minute. But regardless, they don't have the authority. It's none of the federal government's business. They want to do an ID, amend the Constitution, and get the authority. So that's part of the problem. Problem number one. Is it a good thing? Well, probably not. I mean, it is on the surface because, once again, what this does is if you don't have a Real ID, you won't be able to fly American commercial airlines, ride the train, whatever. And so what it does is it keeps illegal aliens and terrorists and all that at bay, or at least that's the theory. But at what point does the federal government say, well, you know what? We're going to turn off. I mean, I don't think we have technology now, but it's coming in the future. We're going to turn on and off certain chips and certain Real IDs so that only certain people can travel out of state. I don't know, you have to have a high enough loyalty score to the government or something. God, it sounds like China. Is that coming? Is that the Pandora's box we're opening with the Real ID? Now, the funny thing is, they've made it so that you don't have a choice. I just got a new driver's license. Guess what? I had to show up with my birth certificate. Otherwise, I wouldn't get the Real ID. And if I don't get the Real ID, I don't get to travel, if I don't have it by 2020, the way I need to travel. And sometimes I do a lot of traveling. So, in order to make a living or to go to the places I need to go, I had to get the Real ID. I had no choice, so I did. Now, I can be a protester, an activist. I refuse to get that Real ID. But then I become a protesting fish in a very small pond because I can't go anywhere. So it's a dangerous Pandora's box that they're opening here. It's a dangerous idea of giving the federal government that kind of control over identification, much less anything else that's supposed to be left at the state level. Of course, why are we so concerned? They've been doing this since long before any of us were born. The federal government has been poking its nose into domestic issues unconstitutionally, going way back. So now the question becomes, how do we stop it? Do we all refuse to get a Real ID? Do we all storm Washington with pitchforks and torches? Do we work within the system to put in the right people? And when those right people get there, do they stay right, or do they become corrupted by the system, the establishment? So it's a lot of questions, and I don't always necessarily think I have all the answers, but I will say this. The Real ID may seem harmless right now, but it's opening the door for something very dangerous. Giving the federal government, the central system, that kind of control over identification and allowing them to stick a chip on our IDs is step one towards, well, A chip in you. Is that next? Hey, don't worry. It's harmless. We just need to make sure we know where you're at all times so that we can protect you against terrorists. By the way, you can't leave your city or your mega region. If you don't know what a mega region is, look up Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, 2050. It's got about 8 different names. Sustainability. So real IDs, unconstitutional, very dangerous. But they've done it in such a way, there's not much we can do about it. Got any ideas? Drop me a comment. I read them. Not only do I read the comments, but I also appreciate any donations that come my way. Go to douglasvgibbs.com or politicalpistachio.com if you want to keep these videos coming, because they're only funded by you. And that all said, don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. And if you want to get notifications when there's new videos, hit the notification bell. I will see you on the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay patriotic, and as always, stay constitutional. We'll see you next time.